London by William Blake. I wandered through each chartered street, where the chartered Thames does flow, and mark in every face I made marks of meekness, marks of woe. In every cry of every man, in every infant's cry of fear, in every voice, in every band, the mind forged manacles I hear. How the chimney sweepers cry, every blackening church appalls, and the hapless soldier's sigh runs in blood down palace walls. But most through midnight streets I hear how the youthful harlot's curse blasts the newborn infant's fear and blights with plague the marriage hears. In the poem, the poet presents the pathetic condition of London in the 1800s. London was filled with prostitutes, the homeless, many suffering in dilapidated housing. These were only a few of the haunting sights of London in the 1800s. William Blake analyzed the horrors and sorrows of his city as he meandered through the streets. He was surrounded by dejected Londoners, and what he considered evidence that his government had too much power and too little interest in helping those they were supposed to serve. Thus, London by William Blake is a dark and dreary poem in which the speaker describes the difficulties of life in London through the structure of a walk. The speaker travels to the river Thames and looks around him. He takes note of the resigned faces of his fellow Londoners. The speaker also hears and feels the sorrow in the streets. This is the focus of the final three stanzas. There is a true pain in the hearts of men, women, and children. The most prominent of those suffering in London streets are the prostitutes. London ends with a fantastical image of a carriage that shuttles love and death together around the city. The theme of the poem. In London, Blake engages with themes of urban life, childhood, and corruption. The latter relates to both childhood and the broader nature of life in the city. It's clear from the first lines of the poem that Blake has a widely negative view of what it's like to live and work in London. He is surrounded by misery, mostly due to the way the adult world destroys the innocence of childhood. These children are in distress throughout their lives, forced to deal with the sins of their family members and the darkness of the urban streets. The speaker hears pain everywhere he goes in the city, something that he knows is unnecessary. The world could be happier and freer, but humanity's darker side has made that impossible in the city. Structure and form of the poem. London by William Blake is a four stanza poem that is separated into sets of four lines known as quatrains. These quatrains follow a rhyme scheme of AB AB throughout. The first stanza explores the sights around the city of London, while the following three focus more on the sounds the speaker can hear. Close readers might notice that the third stanza of the poem is actually an acrostic. It spells out the word here with each first letter of the first word in every line. Some of the lines of London make use of a metrical pattern known as iambic tetrameter. This can be seen perfectly in the first three lines of the poem. But that changes in line 4 when the speaker is confronted with the people. The normal walking rhythm of the first lines is interrupted, a way of referring back to the content in London. Literary devices used in the poem. In London, William Blake makes use of several literary devices. These include, but are not limited to, examples of caesura, metaphor, and enjambment. The first of these, enjambment, is a common formal device that occurs when the poet cuts off a line before the conclusion of a sentence or a phrase. For example, the transition between lines 3 and 4 of the first stanza, as well as line 4 of the second stanza and line 1 of the third stanza. Caesure are pauses in the middle of lines, either due to a break in the meter or the use of punctuation. For example, line 4 of the first stanza. It reads, Marks of weakness, marks of woe. Another good example is line 3 of the second stanza. In every voice, in every band. Caesura is a pause which is a rhythmical pause in a poetic line or a sentence. Enjambment is the continuation of a thought into the next line or verse. April is the cruelest month breeding. Lilacs out of the land mixing. Memory and desire stirring. Examples. The poet also has used metaphors. Metaphors are a kind of figurative language, one that is quite common in poetry and often helps to create great examples of imagery. There are numerous examples to be found, especially in stanza 2 and 3 of the poem.